It's not every day you get to see shows that revolve around a small country town that's unique in a certain type of way. Nowadays, a lot of shows, genres we're seeing on streaming services almost always center on the action, crime, drama, mystery, and romance. Of course, some gems combine all of these and incorporate a slice of life, which is a welcome addition to the show. One such show is Netflix Longmire, whose latest season aired back in November 2017. Fans have been asking if Season 7 will pull through, and luckily, we'll be sharing with you what we know about this series and more. How are you holding up, guys? Welcome back to our channel, where today's episode is all about Longmire Season 7. Details you need to know about. It's been a while since we caught wind of this series, so join us in today's video to know more. A word of caution though, for those of you who haven't watched Season 6 yet, today's video contains several spoilers, so proceed at your own risk. But if you're good with that, then let's get the ball rolling. Before we proceed with today's video, kindly do us a favor and click that like button and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on so you won't miss any of our new releases. So what happened in the last season so far? In the finale of Season 6, titled Goodbye is Always Implied, which is an extended episode, we saw how the show tied the loose ends in the series, putting a close to the characters' lives. Well, not really a close, more of a start of a new cycle and chapter to the characters. These are lessons that we often hear about in Native American teachings, and this philosophy was at the root of the Longmire Season 6 finale. For starters, we see Walt Longmire finally stepping down from being the county sheriff. Following the advice of Lucien Connolly, he chose to turn in his badge after Malachi Strand was dead. The county's immediate future was secured. Now, free of his sheriff duties, he realizes there's a lot more to life than what he's used to, and his relationship with Vic finally turned romantic. And now that he's not her superior, that does away with one big conflict of interest. Next, we have Walt Longmire's most trusted ally and longtime friend, Henry Standing Bear, who is also a member of the Cheyenne Reservation in Absaroka County. His concluding arc saw him becoming the deserving leader of the people on the reservation. Jacob Nighthorse showed that he wasn't entirely evil, his viewpoints were just skewed and distorted. He did right here, and thereby the tribe only to fail them in other ways. He failed them all financially and by cutting corners, while Walt made sure that he didn't die at Malachi's hand. That doesn't mean he is free from prison. Nighthorse giving control of the 4 arrows over to Henry shows that he understands the right thing to do. Give the job to an honorable man, even if the casino is not exactly an honorable place all of the time. Henry has enough moral ambiguity to tackle that while also doing the right thing. Will there be a 7th season for Longmire? We hate to be the ones to break it to you, but Longmire's last season is indeed Season 6, and the show's no longer getting renewed for a new one. The series made its debut on A&E and is included in the channel's wealth of reality programming, which made it one of the highest rated series on A&E. Despite this, the cable network canceled Longmire after 2 seasons since they wanted to focus more on the younger demographic who's watching A&E. Luckily, Netflix stepped in and saved Longmire from cancellation, which granted us 4 more seasons. Any show is dependent on its viewers, so a series being canceled just means that's not a lot of people are watching it. This isn't the case for Longmire, since the show's 2nd season averaged nearly 6 million viewers per episode on A&E, making it the network's most watched original series in history. But there's no denying that at the time of its cancellation on A&E, the show's rating had dropped, as seen on their Season 3 finale, wherein it only managed to rake in 3.7 million viewers. 8.6 in the coveted demographic of adults aged 18 to 49. Still, the viewer count is acceptable compared to other series, so even if Longmire's ratings had dropped over time, still relatively surprising when A&E canceled the show. Deadline reports that possible explanations for the network dropping the axe after 3 seasons was that the show's audience skewed older. Advertisers prefer younger viewers, and the fact it was produced by an outside studio, meaning it wasn't as lucrative for the network. So that sums up why A&E canceled Longmire. But what about Netflix? The streaming giant doesn't rely on advertiser money, and it's difficult to know how the series fared since Netflix doesn't release data regarding popularity and viewership. That being said, we're not entirely sure if more or fewer people took a liking to Longmire since it got picked up by Netflix. When it announced the series' 6th season, they also announced that it will be the last of Longmire, and without the service's ratings or viewership data, though attempting to explain why the streaming service canceled Longmire after 6 seasons becomes more difficult. Our primary guess is that the show reached its peak at the end of season 6, pretty much tied up all the loose ends and covered much of the source material from Johnson's best-selling series of novels that inspired the show. Many contracts these days are for 6 seasons, while there's no real evidence to suggest this was the culprit. After all, plenty of shows have run longer than 6 seasons as actors have signed new contracts over the years. Aside from the contracts, the production also needed to think about the budget, since prolonging the show would be more expensive aside from the actors' contracts. But at the end of the day, we can only assume why the series got canceled for good, and if anything, we should be thankful that Netflix brought us 3 more reasons of this underrated series. Where can I watch Longmire? If you're feeling blue and missing the folks of Absaroka County, you can always binge watch Longmire from season 1 up until the last one. Or even better, you can start reading the book series by Craig Johnson. At least you could do a comparison if the series gave justice to what was written in the book. What is Longmire all about? Based on the book series of the same name by Craig Johnson, Longmire is a neo-western crime drama developed by John Coveney and Hunt Baldwin. First aired on June 3, 2012 in A&E Cable and revolves around Walt Longmire, the sheriff of a fictional Absaroka County, Wyoming, wherein he, along with his staff, friends, as well as his daughter, investigate major crimes within his jurisdiction. He's forced to deal with his wife's death, new partner, and a very concerned daughter. The show became the highest-rated original drama series on A&E and currently has 6 seasons. Warner Horizon Television offered it to other networks and Netflix picked it up, starting with season 4. The cast and characters of Longmire include Robert Taylor in the lead as Walt Longmire, the longtime sheriff of Absaroka County. His wife died a year before the series started, and he has told his daughter and friends that she died of cancer. From here, Longmire struggled on how to deal with the grief from her death, which led to him feeling guilty and isolating himself. The actress, Katie Sackhoff, plays Victoria Vic Moretti, a former Philadelphia Police Department homicide detective who's now the sheriff's deputy. Lou Diamond Phillips is Henry Standing Bear, a Cheyenne who is Walt's best friend and closest confidant. He owns and operates the Red Pony, a local tavern and restaurant, and is also an expert tracker. His name is described as meaning a bear who protects those whom he loves. Cassidy Freeman is Katie Longmire, Walt's daughter, an attorney who initially works for a local law firm. Later, she works for Jacob Nighthorse to provide representation to residents on the reservation. By the end of the series, her father convinces her to run for sheriff. Bailey Chase is Branch Connolly, an ambitious deputy who comes from a wealthy local family, hoping to become a sheriff one day, and was involved with Katie Longmire for a time. Adam Bartley is Archie the Ferg Ferguson, an awkward but hardworking young deputy whose eclectic knowledge and skills have helped solve cases, justifying Walt's hiring him, even though one reason Walt hired him was as a favor to his father. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, so we're wrapping up today's episode about the details you need to know about Longmire Season 7. Hopefully you learned a lot and enjoyed watching today's video as much as we enjoyed making it. Do check out our channel if you like this video, since we've got more content to cater to your needs. From tutorials to celebrity news to curious trivia. Thanks for watching today's video, and before you go, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on so you won't miss any of our newest uploads. We'll see you again in the next episode.